So, welcome everyone to Hospitality Outdoors. This is where we explore the transformational power of outdoor hospitality through real conversations with the people building it. Today's episode is sponsored by Hospitality, the experience of hospitality, because the experience of hospitality transforms the world. I'm Michelle Oliver, and today I'm joined by Antoine Chaveau. And Antoine is a strategic leader in regenerative luxury and sustainable hospitality. He helps shape tourism models that create long-term value, cultural connection, and environmental integrity. He is a multilingual business consultant. I think you speak four languages, and an expert in conscious travel, global hospitality, and intercultural projects, and currently is working with Regenera Luxury. And I know there's a lot more to your bio, but that's just a quick mouthful of everything that you do. Thank you so much, Antoine, for being with me today.
Yeah, thank you, Michelle. Nice to be here with your people
Yeah,
and speaking about sustainability, regeneration, and so on.
great. I'm going to kick this off with a question. The question everyone has in their mind when I'm asking them what they know about regeneration. So, we all know the word sustainability became a big buzzword, and then it turned into this greenwashing marketing. There's a lot of
Mm.
skepticism right now that we're up against. So, can you give us a little better understanding? What exactly is regeneration?
Okay. Well, about sustainability, yes, you're right. Sustainability changed the world, but it also reached its limits. And to understand regeneration, we have to understand where sustainability came from and why it stopped short. Okay, I
Okay.
mean, it's very important to go through history here and step by step. So it will be a little bit long
That's
because
okay.
the regeneration term is a philosophy. Okay, and I will show you during my speech at the end that the regeneration is not a new concept. Okay, because this was implemented a long time before us. Okay, and this starts in China, by the way. We always think that China was a third world country, and it was not a third world country till 19th century. Okay, and it was
Okay.
the first power in the world until before a war, the Opium War, between the European people and China.
Yeah.
And China is, I think it's the art of regeneration before modernity. Okay,
Interesting. Okay, the
and
art of,
it's
let me just say that back so everyone hears that. You just said that China is the art of regeneration before modernity.
modernity. Yeah,
Modernity. So they were doing what we are all attempting to do long, long ago, basically. How,
it,
tell us more.
yeah, of course. Because before we invented words like sustainability or ESG,
Yeah.
there was already this civilization that understood the art of balance, not as a science, but a way of life.
Yes.
In ancient China, regeneration wasn't a program. It was a philosophy, politics, a poetry, okay? And these shaped rivers, fed cities, and defined legitimacy itself, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we have to go back three centuries before Christ, okay? So
Okay.
imagine it.
Yeah.
The governor, Li Bing, faced a dilemma in Sichuan. because the Min River flooded every spring, devastating the Chengdu Plain. And the standard solution would have been to dam it, okay, to
Mm.
just, okay. But Liebing followed a different logic. The Daoist principle of Wu Wei.
Yes.
So what he did, it's simple. He didn't block the river. He guided it, okay? So he carved, or they carved a levee of stone. This was called fish mouth that divided the river naturally. One branch fed irrigation channels and the other flowed to the sea.
Oh, interesting.
So during floods, water overflowed it gently into plains instead of destroying them.
Yeah.
So the result is very interesting because 2,200 years later, the system still works.
Wow.
And it waters
Yeah.
around 5,000 square kilometers of farmland.
Because
Okay,
it's
so
based on a principle, not on profit only.
no, and I will go through this philosophy of China,
Yeah,
and you will see that the emperor also is very important, and the leaders in general in
sure.
China. Okay, so this was the world's oldest regenerative infrastructure. Okay, it's not built to control nature, but to cooperate with the rhythms. Okay, so
Yeah.
we are working with the nature. We are on it. It's different. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what we have to remind is that Chinese philosophy, the power is not permanent. Okay. It's or it was conditional and still, by the way,
Yeah.
because the emperor ruled under the mandate of heaven. So it's a cosmic contact between heaven, earth, and humanity.
Heaven, earth,
Okay.
and humanity. Okay.
Okay. It's
Yes.
very, very important to understand this
Yes.
because in a sense, um, if we have floods, if we have famines, if we have problems with the people of China or wherever, this was meaning that the emperor had lost balance with the nature. So
Interesting.
regeneration was not just environmental policy, it
Mhm.
was also a political morality. Okay.
Now, there are two words that go together well, Antoine. Political morality. It's not an oxymoron, right? It's
Yes.
okay.
And by the way, it's the world's first ESG framework at the end. Okay, linking
Yeah.
governments, nature, and ethics.
Yes. Government,
Okay,
nature, and ethics. Yes.
but very, very interesting this.
It is.
Okay,
Yeah.
and also we have the agricultural regeneration uh, way of thinking from the Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
So the Chinese farmers practiced regenerative agriculture long before the terms existed. Crop rotation and intercropping to preserve soil vitality, for example,
Yeah.
night soil composting, human and animal waste recycled into fertilizers. Very
Mm.
interesting also. So this principle was expressed in the concept of um, Tian Ray AI, the unity of heaven and humanity. I'm sorry, I
Yes.
don't speak Chinese, so it's difficult to
I
me
don't know
to
why
pronounce
not.
it.
It's ridiculous that you only speak four languages. I
So
don't
I'm
know why.
sorry. my Google Translator doesn't work well today, so that's
To
why.
Chinese. Yeah.
Okay, so what we can see here, Michelle, is the circular economy began in the rice fields of China, not in the Silicon Valley.
That makes so
This,
much sense. The
okay,
rice fields of China. I mean, makes complete sense to me.
and on the other, as I told you, starting this conversation, it's about philosophy, and Daoism is very important
Yes.
for the Chinese. And in the 6th century before Christ, they said something interesting. Humanity follows the earth follows heaven follows the Dao, and the Dao follows what is natural.
Mm,
What does it mean? That means the deeper we align with nature's intelligence,
mhm.
the more naturally systems restore themselves. So regeneration is not a human invention. It's a return to the universal design. Okay?
This is already really phenomenal because when people talk about sustainability, it's almost like the energy of it is like corrective. Like we have to do this and it's going to make us money. You
Yes,
know, where this is a very different approach. It's more the inside out than the outside in, is how
yes,
it
is that
feels to me.
and by the way, sustainability, sustain, you sustain.
Sustain.
Okay, so it's the same word in Portuguese, in sustainable, in Spanish also
Hmm.
sustentabilidad. But in French, we have a different term, and I
Of
will go
course
through
you do.
this.
I can't
And
wait.
it's about duration, about time. Okay,
Yeah,
but
okay.
my second example about regeneration or the consequences of the humanity and our philosophy of way of life. And today so it's very interesting because the
Hmm.
Mayan cities and the Maya is a very good example when balance is breaking. And
Okay.
and
Can you go
and
deeper into that? Like, what do you mean?
yes,
Okay.
if China shows us regeneration as balance,
Hmm.
the Maya show us what happens when balance is broken.
Hmm.
They were brilliant, okay,
Yeah.
brilliant astronomers, engineers, philosophers, and so on. We all know this because they built cities that touched the skies
Mm.
and calendars that measured eternity. Remember the
Yeah.
so-called Maya calendar here in Mexico City, for example.
Yes.
Okay, so the world of the Maya, the classic Maya period, it was around 250 to 900 years after Christ.
Hmm.
So it covered a lot of Central America. Central America was you had dense forests,
Hmm.
fragile falls, and seasonal rainfall. It's
Yeah.
the same right now, by the way.
Yeah.
The seasonality didn't change. Okay, we will go through maybe, and it's not the topic right now about the climate change and so on. Nonetheless, what they created is a sophisticated agricultural ecosystem. Okay,
Mhm.
milpa agriculture, the rotating corn, beans, squash, tree crops in cycles that regenerated the soil. The
Mhm.
same, by the way, in Europe with the 3-year calendar. Okay, So what we can that the people in China, in the Maya territories, was working with the nature also. Okay.
Yes.
But the problem, so they didn't just farm the forest. They became in the first phase. They became part of it. Okay. So it was an ecological symphony.
An
Thousands of
ecological
microclimates
symphony.
managed in harmony. Okay.
Yes, I like that
So
ecological symphony. So everything is taken into account and rotated.
yes,
The
exactly.
health of the entire ecosystem.
Okay, so I
Gosh, this
said
affects the value. I mean, yeah, I will be quiet and listen, but I'm just thinking of all the consequences of this in our food and our health and our bodies and how separated we are as
yes.
a culture from nature and from the cycles and how we have to even okay, anyway, go ahead. I could take this in so many directions. It's
But I will, there
rich.
is a parallel, and you will
Yes.
see.
Okay.
So this is a long time before the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
1,000 years before the
Yeah.
Industrial Revolution. And what happened to the Maya? Their cities grew.
Yes.
Ambition grew faster than humility.
Oh,
Temples
vision.
demanded
Okay.
temples demanded limestone. Limestone demanded firewood to build the heaven. They burned forests. They
Oh,
deforested vast regions to
yeah.
make plasters for their pyramids. Okay,
Okay.
the
Yeah.
soil dried, rivers shrank,
Hmm.
and rains failed. And that's why by late 8th century, they had a lot of problems. And this was an ecological catastrophe. And the people had to go away from the cities. And that's why we have cities into the forest right now, lost, like Tikal, Kopan, Calakmul, they are abandoned.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a real lesson because the Maya weren't. What they did is just they were not destroyed by nature. They were destroyed by forgetting that they forgot the relationship with the nature.
Right.
So you can see
Yeah.
China, the Chinese people think we have to go with the nature.
Right.
And the Maya, what they did is they broke this balance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what they did is they began to take more and they couldn't return they couldn't return to the principle, okay, and the system collapsed.
I like the way
So
you said ambition over humility. It became imbalanced. And that seems
yes,
to be an ongoing lesson for the world, really. Okay, this is so fascinating. Keep going, Antoine.
so yes it is, and the
Yeah.
Maya story isn't about the past, it's
Yeah.
about the pattern.
It's about
So
the pattern, not the
it's
past.
very important to
Yeah.
understand this, okay? And
Okay.
every civilization that breaks the regenerative loop faces the same test. And
Yeah.
now, by the way, it's our turn,
It's our
okay?
turn. Yes.
So after the Maya fell, Europe, in its own way, had to relearn regeneration,
Hmm.
okay? But in France, regeneration didn't begin in palaces. It began in silence. with
Hmm.
the monks, okay, in
Mhm.
monasteries. And it is very also interesting this,
Hmm.
because the monks were the first regenerative philosophers, okay, in the Middle Ages, because long before sustainability reports, these monks were regenerating Europe one valley at a time.
Oh,
Okay, so the Cistercians, the Benedictine
Benedictine. Yes.
followed a rule: ora et labora, pray and work.
Yeah.
And their work was healing. Their work was healing the land. Okay, so what they did is very simple. They built self-sufficient ecosystems. Okay,
Mhm.
so fish ponds that fertilized gardens, vineyard. I like wine, by the way.
No.
Interlaced with the forest,
Oh,
compost system that recycled every waste. Okay, water mills that powered communities without destroying rivers. So, as I'm French, I can talk about Cluny, Fontenay,
yeah.
Citeaux, and you can visit these abbeys in the south of Paris or very close to Paris, and these became centers of ecological resilience,
Hmm.
what we could call circular economies today.
Interesting. Oh,
Okay, so I'm linking
yes.
step by
Fast.
step
Yeah.
these what we are living today. It's not
Patterns.
circular economy is not, oh, I'm very clever, I'm very intelligent. By the way, we will think about circular economies. No,
Right.
it we are not inventing things today.
Exactly.
We it's you know, to them, tending the earth wasn't just agriculture, it was theology. They
Yeah.
delivered that caring for creation was the highest form of prayer.
Yeah.
So check this philosophy. The Chinese, it's about heaven. The Mayans say, okay, we need to pray and we will focus to create more temples and so on. And they destroyed this balance because they forgot the balance between nature and the civilization. And the monks, so the French monks, worked with the nature, for the nature, and with the heaven also. Okay, with God.
Yeah.
And the prayer is the devotion, and regeneration was a devotion also,
There was
devotion
no
to God.
separation. There was no separation from these aspects of life. I feel that in the West, we're so compartmentalized. We think we can have something without affecting another part of something. And we separate ourselves from that rather than understanding that it is, whether we
Mhm.
like it or not, it's a holistic system. And that's why everything seems and feels so out of balance.
Yes, exactly.
This is wonderful. So keep going.
So about the Maya, what I said and
Hmm.
or what I thought about the Maya, it's also about the demography. The
Yeah.
demography grew, and by the way, our demography is growing right now in our century still. Okay,
Yeah.
and for France, it was also the same thing during the medieval time. We have to remind something that France was the first country in Europe, the most populated country of Europe, with Italy also.
Hmm.
So we had around, if I remember, 12 millions of people in France at that time. So as France grew, kings began to understand that forests were wealth.
Yeah.
And also they had to face some issues, okay? So Philippe le Bel in the 14th century did something very interesting because he created some decrees protecting the royal forest.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
not for conservation. Okay, not but for survival.
Conservation. Okay.
It
Yeah.
was not for only conservation sake. Okay,
Okay.
it's for survival. Okay, so what we understood, you remember that we were creating and building cathedrals. Okay,
Yes.
so we needed a lot of wood. Okay,
Right. Yeah.
so 3 centuries later, we had a ministry who was Jean-Baptiste Colbert,
Mm.
the minister of Louis XIV, and he wrote the Ordonnance des eaux et forêts,
Mm.
the world's first environmental laws.
That's fascinating. Yeah.
1669.
Oh, wow.
1669.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it set rules for tree rotation, river protection, and replanting centuries before the terms of sustainable yield. Okay, and Colbert wrote something very interesting also. He said, les forêts précèdent les peuples, les déserts les suivent, which means
Oh,
forest precedes civilizations
yeah.
and deserts follow them. Okay, so we have to protect our forests.
Yeah.
So Colbert understood what few politicians today do, that economy without ecology is a suicide by comfort.
Okay, let's say that again. Economy without ecology is suicide by what?
Comfort, comfort,
Comfort.
comfort.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so
Sit with that for a minute, everyone. I mean, that's an intense statement.
yeah, so
Yes.
you can see that even in the age of monarchy, regeneration was a
Yes.
governance.
Yes. Absolutely.
And regeneration was a strategy,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Because France Navy, agriculture, and prosperity depended on trees,
Yeah.
water, and soil. So they knew that losing the forest, they lose the kingdom of France. Okay?
Yeah.
So remember, we have to also remember something. It's the economy was based on agriculture,
Right.
okay, at that time. And by the 18th century, the French went further and they made regeneration the foundation of economics.
Okay.
Interesting this.
How so?
Because I don't know why in business schools over the world, they do not teach about the physiocrats.
Tell
So
me more.
the physiocrats is a French economic school led by François Quesnay and Turgot.
Okay.
And they believed that the land itself was the source of all wealth.
Hmm.
And that when the land thrives, the nation thrives. So what they did, they built le tableau économique, or they imagined the economy as a circular system. So wealth flows from the soil to farmers, to artisans, and to the king, and back to the soil. okay?
Yeah.
So they were the first to see the economy as an organism, the
Yes.
prototype of secular economy. And what they called their philosophy, they said, la loi naturelle, the natural law.
Mm,
And their motto was, laissez faire, laissez passer, la nature fait mieux.
mm,
Let nature do better, in other terms. So just a reminder to people about economy, laissez-faire, it's a French word to just let do this by
right.
by its way, okay? It's the
Yeah.
nature is doing a lot better than us.
Right.
So there were the early regenerative economists, okay?
Yes, I
And,
see.
and by the way, very interesting, Kenneth was the physician of Louis the 15th.
Oh, okay.
So
See, this trickles
that
into everything with health and um, the peasants or the
yeah,
people of the land, like your staff and culture. And go ahead.
and by the way, Kenneth thought like a biologist. Okay,
Uh,
so what he said, if blood stops circulating, the body dies. It's logical. Okay, so
Absolutely logical.
if wealth stops circulating,
Yes.
okay, if we take without giving,
Yes.
society collapses.
Yes.
It sounds familiar, by the way, no?
Sounds very familiar. And it-
Nonetheless, nonetheless, Michel, because it's history, the missed opportunity and the modern echo, because
right.
Turgot tried to reform taxation and promote cooperative farming.
Uh,
But the aristocracy, the French aristocracy, blocked him. So within years, France erupted in revolution
mm,
and regeneration was lost again. So,
yeah.
but their vision survived, and today it's being reborn in a new form. We've turned their intuition into data. Okay, and I will
Mhm.
go through this with regeneration. Nonetheless, we will continue because there is something about the Industrial Revolution, which began in England.
Mhm.
So humanity made the opposite: power over balance, speed over wisdom.
Gosh, this is
So
happening right now.
yes, we industrialized the world,
Yes. Uh-huh.
okay? And what we did is we dehumanized our relationship with it. And this is a problem from my perspective. I mean, remember about the Chinese, Maya, the French now, and we are still with the consequences of the industrial England, okay, or the industrial revolution.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the 18th century, in England, they discovered the coal
Yeah.
and steam, and they transformed everything. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so what does it mean? The rhythm of seasons gave way to the rhythm of machines.
That's
So, okay, we didn't, now we don't care about the seasons, okay? But if there is rain, fine. If not, we will still working with our machines, okay?
yes.
So the logic of balance was replaced by the logic of output.
Right. Ambition again. It's the same thing with the Mayans. The
Yeah,
ambition and how much can we get and how much can we get from this thing instead of the balance and putting it back in. Yes, I see that.
yes, exactly. And production became progress.
Yeah,
Profit became virtue.
that's right.
Okay. And yet, even here, voices of regeneration appeared, like John Ruskin, for example. He
Mm-hmm.
warned that beauty and morality were linked.
Yes.
Or William Morris finding the art and craft movements to reunite work, art, and nature. There were early regenerative thinkers in an
Mhm.
age of extraction. Okay. So, and the globalization followed.
Oh
And
gosh.
yes,
And those when you think of it societally, the artist and musician, I mean today, still today, like they're pushed out. They can't survive. They don't. And with regeneration, I love how we bring in art and we bring in
mhm.
music and we bring in real food and it's everything. So it's very easy to diminish the value of things that are not seemingly uh, producing money, I guess, really. It becomes about profit only.
Yeah, and globalization also,
Yeah,
because the industrial capitalism became global capitalism.
that's right.
Okay, so we exported not just products, but also philosophies.
Mm-hmm.
And found something since 1945, a linear growth, a mass consumption, short-term profits.
Mm-hmm.
And the result is that the planet is unbalanced.
Yes.
And we have climate crisis, inequality, burnout.
That's
Okay.
right. Mm-hmm.
So,
Because the purpose is dead. And this is the problem too that people talk about with staffing now, that you really have to take responsibility for offering purpose to your people because people are starving. They don't know where they belong. They don't know why they're here. And it's so interesting how integrated everything is, isn't it?
yes, exactly. Exactly. And after in the 1970s, with the Club of Rome,
Mm-hmm.
they wrote Limits to Growth. Uh, we began to talk about sustainability.
Okay.
Okay. And then it was not sustainability as philosophy, but what
Mhm.
we did with in 1987 with the Brundtland Commission, and in 1992 with the Rio agreements,
Mm.
we began to to name it, and it was sustainability. So sustainability, in a first step, it's about culture, about economy and social, and ecology.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Yes.
we integrate again the 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 environmental problems or issues we can face, and we understand that nature is part of our economy.
Yes.
But the problem is that we say sustainability, sustaining, okay? And our philosophy is not just only sustaining uh, to sustain or to do less harm.
Mhm.
We need to regenerate, to
Yeah.
create more good, not items. I mean, it's. I taught during my explanation about the heaven, the mind, the spirit, about the nature, the economy, and how to balance everything.
Yes.
Okay, so regeneration is not about restraint, it's about recreation. Okay, it's the fusion of ancient wisdom and modern science.
The fusion of ancient wisdom and modern science.
Okay, so we
Yes.
discovered the truth of China, Maya, Physiocrats, but
Yes.
now with tools they never had. Now we have data, AI,
Right.
climate models,
Yes.
life cycle analytics.
Right.
So you understand, so regeneration
Metrics.
replaces
To prove,
extraction with reciprocity. Okay,
yes, what's wonderful though is all of those tools you mentioned are the metrics that that prove profitability. So you can indeed have both, and
mhm,
it's in a balance. It's one,
exactly.
yes, yeah.
So we can have this in the business, culture, and design.
Yes.
Okay, so it's exactly what we're doing with Regeneral Luxury
Okay.
because we built the first regenerative luxury certification in the world, recognized by United Nations Tourism.
Yes.
Okay, so we work with boutique hotels, five-star hotels, and four-star hotels also, retreats also, to
Hmm.
move from sustainability to regeneration,
Right.
from reducing harm to creating measurable benefits.
From
So
reducing harm to creating measurable benefits.
exactly. So it's very important this because we measure over 150 KPIs through our strategic evolution toolkit, integrating ESG, wellness, culture, equity, and purpose.
Oh, wow.
We help hotels to restore ecosystems, empower communities, and increase their profitability. Okay, so and that's why step by step we are working with the hotel industry to change it. We are changing the philosophy.
That's right.
Okay, and
Wow.
our hotels, certified hotels, don't just serve guests, you know, they regenerate their surroundings. Okay, so
Think how that
uh,
changes the guest experience. It
exactly,
it's really significant. And this applies to anyone who's listening to this in outdoor hospitality. It's no different. It's actually even more important because you're directly, you're selling a relationship with nature. That's what outdoor hospitality is all about. And it distinctly changes the guest experience. They have meaning and purpose. And do you not think that guests are so savvy now? They really want to know what they are buying. They want to know who you are and they want you to prove it to them. They don't want a bunch of marketing that says, yes, we're sustainable. They want something more. They want everything you're speaking of, a philosophy that they can believe in. They need hope. They need encouragement. They need confirmation that it's actually real. It's not an AI generated picture of,
exactly.
yes,
And remember something, hospitality literally means the art of hosting life,
yes,
or hosting life. And it's a French term, hospitalité, okay?
hospital.
So you have to welcome the people. And 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 that's why it's at the end our goal is to make every stay a seed, okay? A moment where luxury and legacy meet. We are
Yes.
turning hotels into catalysts of regeneration,
Ah,
measurable, profitable, and beautiful also, okay?
yeah.
So Yes,
Uh,
interesting all this and in regional luxury, we are not greenwashing
no,
or regenerative washing or something like this, because we need we need to check how your hotel is going on. If it's we need to measure, we need to check the consequences of your work, okay, and to show to everyone that it's working also. It's not just, okay, you did this, check. You did that, check. No,
right.
it's okay, you did this. And how did you do this?
Yeah.
Can you measure the consequences of your act?
Mm.
Okay, yes. For example, there is a community of people here. They were poor. They earned around, I don't know, maybe $500 or $100 per month. And now with our hotel, the um, the average income by people is 1,000. Okay, in terms of economy, obviously, but we could talk about the consequences also about ecological issues. We had industries here, and we had a lot of problems with these industries. And I don't know, we with our with our actions, we change these industries, and they are not polluting now.
Oh,
Okay, like the Chinese governor did about the river. Okay,
right.
we are living with the nature.
Yes.
So, yes, history teaches us one pattern: civilization that regenerate, uh, endure, those that extract, collapse, and so on. From the rivers of Sichuan to the temples of the Maya, from the forest of France to the mills of Manchester, it's the same lesson, okay?
Yeah.
The same lesson, it's exactly the same. And we're reaching right now a turning point,
Mm-hmm.
okay? So we cannot longer sustain what is unsustainable. But what we can do is to
Oh, right.
regenerate what is still
Sustain
alive.
Yeah, sustainability just ran into a brick wall. That's it, right? And this to me seems like the biggest opportunity. It is the opportunity of our time. So we either listen, and you know what I find though, it come looping back to the beginning of the conversation. After this, I hope no one will be there anymore. But the jaded thinking, the in the box thinking, the resistant thinking. And I think often people don't even know what they need because they haven't reviewed the history. They're not looking at the past to inform the present. All they're thinking about is how do I survive in my hotel? How do we
Yeah,
increase?
yeah, yeah.
We need more Bonvoy, members or whatever. It's just a limited mindset. So this conversation is an opportunity for anyone listening to really wake up, I'd say, and realize and recognize the opportunity for your hotel or outdoor hospitality property. It's because you are the first movers on this.
Yes, exactly. And it's not just the future of luxury, by the way, because we say regional luxury. It's the region of civilization. And
Mm,
regeneration is not just a movement, it's our memory. And that's why I told you, we need to talk about history.
yeah.
And 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 do we want greenwashing people? It's about the spirit, as I told you earlier.
Yes.
Okay, about our mind. It's
Yes.
about this. It's very, very important to understand this.
And I think everyone feels that at some level, but they don't know how to execute on it in a way that is productive. And a lot of those things like art and music are brushed aside. Like
Yeah,
like there and even the definition of luxury, right? We were talking about this the other day or with someone that luxury used to be about consuming and taking and getting. And
mhm,
now it's much more about purpose and creating and experiencing that creation, which is actually giving. So you don't show up to a luxury property like, how much food am I going to eat? Like all this, that's over. It's why am I coming here and how do I regenerate? And how do I restore my senses and my relationship with nature? And then move beyond that and in an environment where it's meaningful,
yeah,
where we
exactly.
all want that transformation. So it which then becomes a marketing opportunity which produces revenue, right? So it all works together beautifully. And it's not that kind of, like you were saying, the greenwashing marketing, because we have tools now to not only all the metrics, but to actually show the transformation that someone has by coming to your
Mhm.
property. We're just not using the tools.
Exactly. We're not using the tools. And defining luxury, uh, from my perspective, it's about nobility also. Okay, you have to be noble to the nature, to your people, to your system, to your okay, and it's a way of life. It's not
Yes.
about, oh, it's very luxurious. No, sorry.
That just doesn't do it anymore, right? It's like, yeah, we're more than that. So then again, it becomes an opportunity for the nobility to take, and that requires taking responsibility, right? And like not abdicating your throne. I think we have all abdicated our throne. We've walked away and we're just scrolling through Instagram or something. So, time to come back, take this opportunity, and really make a difference.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe it's different from the mass conception we are living since 1945 after the Second World War.
Mhm.
Remember that uh, we had a big war, and then the economy was very simple. We produce, we produce, we produce.
Yes.
And you consume, you consume, you consume. And
Mhm.
more you're consuming, more your spirit is giving up, by the way,
Yep.
because
Selling your
there
soul.
is something very, very, there is nothing into the conception,
Mhm.
but a conception with purpose, regenerating indeed your way of life, yourself. This is very important, and that's why I repeat myself. It's so important to understand the lessons of the history. The Chinese are so clever, so intelligent, very, very. We have to check what they did and what they are doing right now
Yeah.
still. Okay, so and because in the West, exactly, we forgot everything. We say,
Yeah.
hey, we are the best. We are
Sure.
the richest, the wealthiest people in the earth. We are very brilliant. And the Chinese, they are brilliant.
Well, we become hypnotized with short-term gratification and pleasure rather than having purpose, something to really work for. And then
Exactly.
and then we have a generation that forgot the value of work. They really, I hear, especially in hospitality, I hear this so often that staff just, I hate to hear this because I think it is the responsibility of the owner and the manager, but I hear so often that staff just doesn't have a work ethic anymore, this generation, and they leave it at that. They don't take the responsibility. I've experienced having businesses where the purpose, I was so inspired by the purpose that the staff comes along, right? Because they're
Mhm.
hungry for that. And they're not just distracting themselves with pleasure. And there's just so many corners of hospitality where this will trickle into that we haven't even spoken about today. I would
Mhm.
love to have you back again.
Yeah,
Antoine,
why not?
this has been such a valuable conversation for me in understanding the history of regeneration, and it just makes it so much easier to talk about and to understand the value. So I know that everyone listening has gained a lot. Is we're coming to the end of our time. So is that do you have a burning desire to share anything else before we close for this time?
No, I would like just to focus on that the regeneration is not only the future, it's our past. So
Hmm.
just we forgot it. Okay. So and that's all. And we will push with Hector, for example, from the president of Regional Luxury, with you and with our people, our team, to push the hotel industry in the way of regeneration,
Mhm.
and yes, to get results.
Yes.
That's we need results now. We need to change, and that's what we are doing. Okay, we are implementing this management system hotel by hotel, and 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 I think this is my message today. Okay, so do not forget, regeneration is not the future; it's our past. We
Hmm.
just forgot.
We just forgot. Well, thank you so much, Antoine, for helping us remember. And I'll put all the links. Anyone is welcome to reach out to Antoine or to me, and I will connect you with the right people to talk with about what you can do at any level. It doesn't matter how large or small you are, there's something that you can do. So thank
Exactly.
you again. Thank you so much. This was just lovely and wonderful. And we'll do it again soon. Okay?
Thank you, Michelle.
You.
Bye. Bye bye.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Au
Oui, tout à
revoir.
fait.
The
Très
one
bien.
the one word I know in French. Yes. Until
Ah, I can teach you French
yeah,
also.
I work on it, but not enough. You inspire me, so I'll be able to say more the next time, okay?
Yeah, I hope so.
All right. Au